get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Here I am in Gainesville, Florida, a city I've been to many times. I've done graves, I've done true crime, I've done stuff on celebrities. I've done some strange things, some eerie things, some odd things. This would probably be the oddest thing I've done in Gainesville. The oddest thing I've done on my channel, maybe. Possibly? I don't know, I'll have to look back. So what else? No. Whoops, excuse me. Got a little tongue-tied there. I didn't, but I wanted to say that joke because I'm going to show you a house where in 2020, the year 2020, they found some tongues in the crawl space and the floorboards, and not just like a couple of tongues, human tongues.
You know how you pick up chicks in this country?
Not just like a couple. They found 6 gallons, 6 plastic jugs, each a gallon size, filled with human tongues. So that's, if I moved into a house and they told me, like whoever's going inspecting the home type of thing and real estate agent, oh, by the way, they discovered a tongue. And we're like what kind? And they would say, oh, a human tongue. I'd say, can we see another house? Or, yeah, the sale's off type of thing. This was 6 gallons of tongues. That's a lot of tongues. Now, what happened was, here's the house. That's it right there. Now, I believe the owner of the home is still the same owner when the tongues were discovered. It's right there. Just walk by. So right there's a crawl space underneath that house. And during a routine inspection in 2020, the gentleman or gentle lady or group of people, I'm not sure, inspecting the home, lifted up the floorboards in the crawl space and found the jars of tongues. Great name for a band. Now, they were alarmed.
I'm going steady, and I French kiss.
Would you be? They were very alarmed. There's the house. It's a nice house. Listen to the sounds all around you. Sounds like somebody without a tongue made that sound. They alerted authorities. Authorities came, and they found all sorts of tongues. Human tongues. Some dating as far back as the 1960s. Now you would say, how do they know they're that old? They were preserved, and they were labeled. Tongue house, right here. Why are you driving by the tongue house? See, a research professor in the 60s and 70s started collecting tongues as part of a research project.
What is he doing? Go!
And he brought his work home with him. Now I imagine, back in the 60s, 70s, a lot of people would bring their work home with them, and it still happens to this day. People work from home. But not body parts. I don't think that's something you bring home. You bring home the Patterson report. Honey, what are you working on tonight? Oh, the Patterson report. I'll be up till midnight. Well, I'll leave dinner on the stove. That's gender neutral, by the way. That can be either one, saying either one. In this relationship that I've made up in my head. This guy brought home tongues. Put them in the crawl space because it was a cool space. Not cool, like, hey, not, like that. Not cool. It was cool and, colder. It's Florida. Hotter than that. It's hot. So I guess the crawl space was the best place you could think of. Now, authorities said, and I quote, "This is not an odd occurrence in Gainesville." What? He said, what, due to the University of Florida being nearby and 3 big hospitals, and oftentimes people have brought home things like that and been discovered. That's a quote. It says it in the article that I read. I read like 4 articles on it, and one of them said that. I was like, I've never heard of it before, but maybe in Gainesville that's the thing. You bring home, bring home a femur.
Hey!
So police investigated, did the best they could, and determined that there was no wrongdoing. Now, this Dr. Ronald Baughman, his wife Mary, they were divorced. So she was, I guess, having the house maybe appraised or maybe looked at. They went under in the floorboards, in the crawl space. They found a bunch of tongues. And I'm thinking the tongues are probably gone now. But back then, again, quote unquote, they did things different. It was said, 60s or 70s. So he brought these tongues home with him. I don't know, man. It's just really weird. I'm going to quote Steve Orlando, a spokesperson for the University of Florida, because that's where he worked. That's where Dr. Ronald Baughman worked. Baughman worked. He said, "I don't know what the policies and laws would have been like 50 years ago or whenever it was, but I can tell you that today, that's not something that would be permitted. There are very strict federal and state laws as well as university policies that prohibit that. It would be neither appropriate or legal for a faculty member or researcher to bring something like that home. And something like that is tongues. Human tongues." So he didn't. This guy was this. Let's not besmirch the name, the good name, I guess the good name of Dr. Ronald Baughman. He was not a serial killer. He was not somebody involved in selling tongues on the black market or the pink market or the red market, whatever color your tongue is. He was a researcher. He was, he brought them home, and I guess he just forgot about them. Maybe he went on to something else. Maybe he went on to nipples. I don't know. But he went on to start studying something else, I guess, and just left the tongues there. Because they got divorced and he moved out. So I think she just didn't even know about the tongues. Or maybe she knew about the tongues and forgot about the tongues. And the guys came over and looked and found the tongues. Another quote from Jorge Campos, a spokesman for University of Florida, says, "We've got no indication that they were trying to hide anything from us or be deceptive about anything. They've been forthcoming from the get-go. That's why in our preliminary investigation, we don't think we have anything criminal. We just need to verify everything." Yeah. So, I'm going to walk backwards. Ooh, the light is nice. This house here, off a really main street, about 4 years ago, in February of 2020, I bet all these neighbors were like, "Oh, there's a lot of goings on over at Mary and Ronald's house. I wonder what's happening." And then they see the guys in the suits, and they see the news trucks. They're going to come out in their house coats. They're going to wonder what's going on. And they're going to say, "Can we ask what's happening in the house? Is everybody okay?" "Oh, everyone's fine, except for the, 700 people without tongues." Now, of course, they would have been donated to science. That's how we got them, I assume. Ronald, what were you doing? See, now I'm getting into, because I said he wasn't a serial killer. He's not. We're having fun here, Ronald. I don't think Ronald's with us anymore. Mary is. I think she still lives here. Mary. So I don't know what I was talking about. There's a lot of tongues found in this house, and the neighbors. But I could still live here. I could still live next door to a house, the tongue house. I'm gonna call it tongues. I could live next door to a house where there were a lot of tongues found, if it was under the right circumstances. If it was part of a research project, that sort of thing. What's up? You know about the tongue house? We just drove by it. A lot of tongues. I could still live here. Now, if it was something evil going on in the house and there were tongues found, I'd be like, Yeah, maybe. Well, you know what? I don't know. Probably just stay. It seems like such a hassle to move. But I didn't even move into the house. I just say, can you do a clean sweep? I want to make sure like the HVAC's working. I want to make sure central air is good and all that. And the foundation. What else? Oh yeah, make sure there's no tongues in plastic jugs anywhere in the house. You find some weird stuff when you move into a house. I'm sure people leave behind stuff all the time. Maybe some old books, an old poster or two, maybe a briefcase behind a door. You don't know what it is. You open it up and there's nothing. You think it's going to be money, and it's going to be nothing. It didn't happen to me. I've just heard of stuff like that. Here, they open the door. They open the floorboards. They weren't moving in, but whatever. People were here doing research. They were here doing, not research, what are we talking about? They were here doing an inspection of the house. Maybe she was going to sell it. Maybe she sold it already. I don't know. No, she still lives here. I checked. Anyway, maybe she was here. Maybe she wanted something done with the house. And tongues. So they found tongues in this house. And everything's okay now. It seems like the neighborhood has settled down. Tongue. Yeah, you got to just, you do, I don't want to give away the street name. You can find it yourself if you look it up. If you Google, do a lot of research, put, people, when they think, they go, tongue. So you can do that and find the address. And maybe there's tongues lying around. I don't know. I doubt it. But that is a true story. There were tongues found in that house. 6 gallons. Plastic jugs full of tongues. And everybody knows a tongue can, bring a lot of fun. But these tongues were no fun. These tongues were, well, that was pretty dumb. What Ronald Baughman done. Rhyme scheme. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you. Yeah, okay. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Love you all. Peace. No, I shouldn't show your tongue on camera ever. Unless you're in the porn industry or, I don't know. I'm not going to. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Love you all. Peace. Out. Now I'm grossed out by tongues. Oh.